What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to stay up to the Ravens content, make sure the subscribe button down below and turn the notification bell on if you want to get notified every single time I upload a brand new video. If you can't tell, just got to my new house. Got here last night. Super cluttered in the background. I don't have a chair currently, so I'm sitting on my knees. So I apologize if I'm like kind of swaying. It's pretty uncomfortable. And then my sister's also moving, is in the background right now, but eventually I'll get some stuff up behind me and stuff like that. It'll look a lot better, but oh well, this show must go on. But also, if you have any concerns about the audio or anything like that, I tested out. It seemed fine, but if you think, hey, it's a bit quiet, I can move the microphone and get that stuff situated. Or if you want a different camera angle, all that stuff, comment down below. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is a bit late because I was on vacation. I was in Tahoe, and Justin Houston signed with the Ravens. And I think that was something that many of us really wanted. And I want to give my full analysis on it. I made a quick YouTube short. If you liked it, that I made those YouTube shorts, I may make those in addition to the daily videos if I ever have small things that I want to go over. But let me know if you guys are interested in that type of thing. But, Justin Houston signed to the Ravens on a 1-year, $4 million deal. First thing I want to talk about is the value right there. I was expecting a 1-year, $10 million deal for Justin Houston, possibly even a 1-year, $12 million deal. I was not expecting $4 million. And if you look at, what kind of other teams offered him, like the Steelers, it was said that I think somebody said that the Steelers offered 3 times the amount the Ravens did to Justin Houston, and he ended up still choosing Baltimore. And that's something that really speaks volumes, because Justin Houston, I talked about it plenty of times. Why hasn't he signed? Because he wants to get money. And he could have gotten that money. He could have gotten that $12 million, that $10 million range. However, he decided, last week or so, he was like, you know what? If I could be anywhere, I'd want to be in Baltimore, because he knows he's going to play. He knows he's going to compete. And he knows it's going to be a great organization that values the defense and values getting sacks. And I think that's something that's really important to look at, is that he chose the Ravens for less money, because recently players have been choosing other teams for less money over the Ravens who have offered more. For example, Juju Smith-Schuster. We offered him more money than Pittsburgh, but he was like, you know what? I want to stay in Pittsburgh. And that speaks volumes, that they chose a team and an organization and an opportunity rather than getting that bag. And especially when it's 3, like with Juju, we probably offered about $4 million more than Pittsburgh ended up paying. Whereas in this case, Justin Houston, it was like triple what he could have gotten, or 1/3 in Baltimore terms. But overall, like that value right there, just for a player, getting him for 1/3 of the cost that it would have costed other teams, that's just incredible value right there. Now let's look at, Justin Houston as a player. Was it the right signing? I think it is the right signing. I don't think there was a player on the market that I was more open about wanting the Ravens to sign. And you may look at it and say, like, oh, but there's Chandler Jones. I'll talk about Chandler Jones in a second. But overall, Justin Houston was the best edge rusher on the market. He was the best edge rusher on the market for a while. Like almost the entire other than J.J. Watt, he was the best edge rusher, period, in free agency. Other than J.J. Watt, he was the best. You may look at it and say, oh, but Jadeveon Clowney or Melvin Ingram. I wasn't as high on those guys, and I've made plenty of videos talking about Justin Houston and why he's the top guy. That's because he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing, and he's had production every year. Guys like Melvin Ingram, last year, no sacks. Justin Houston last year, 8 sacks. Maybe it was 9 sacks. Hold on, let me check real quickly. I'm pretty sure it was 8 sacks, but 8 sacks. Okay, I was correct in that. But the year before that, he had 11. And looking at that and saying, oh yeah, he's old, but at the same time, he's old but produces. That's still valuable, especially for a guy that, has been at the top of the NFL. He had a 22 sack season. Very few players. I believe only 3 players can say that they've ever had that. Maybe even only 2 players have ever had a 22 sack season. Like, that doesn't happen. And he's going to come in to our newly acquired rookie edge rusher, Adolphe Awe, who has limited experience at the position. He's only played edge rusher for 5 years, outside linebacker / defensive end edge rusher. 5 years he's played it. He's looking to absorb as much knowledge as he can. And why not bring in a guy that has great knowledge on fundamentals, getting to the quarterback, and how to play for a winning team. I mean, he was on a great defense last year in Indianapolis. That was a great defense. I mean, they gave the Ravens trouble. And he gets to come in and join up with Winkle Martindale, one of the best in the business, and join up with Patrick Queen, a young linebacker, and he'll help him because he may not know like exactly, hey, this is what you should be doing at all times, but he'll be able to say, hey, when I'm doing this PQ, maybe you slide back into coverage over here, okay? And just bring in that veteran leadership for somebody that's going to play a lot, because I don't want to throw any shade at Pernell McPhee or any of the other guys, LJ Fort, any of the other guys, in that front seven, but they don't play as much. Justin Houston is a guy that should play a significant amount. I don't think he's going to be an every snap player, but he should play a significant amount, and he's going to have some vocal leadership on that defense. Him and Calais Campbell are going to be the two guys that have proven they can do it at the top level and are still willing to put in the work, and that's massive for this team. And with the young edge rushers that the Ravens have, they're banking on Tyus Bowser getting better. They're banking on, Sack Daddy improving. They're banking on, obviously, Odafe Away, but also Dalen Hayes. And yes, we may not get to see Dalen Hayes as much. Yes, we may not get to see Odafe as much, or even, Sack Daddy, or even Tyus Bowser just rushing the quarterback. But for the future, you remember, this is only a one-year deal. For the future, this is going to help them significantly. So we may not get as much playing time, as much snaps as we'd want out of those guys, but at the same time, in the long run, this is going to help them significantly more. Think about when the Ravens have developed good edge rushers. When was the last one? Zadarius Smith. Who was in Baltimore when Zadarius Smith was coming up in Baltimore? A man by the name of T. Sizzle, Terrell Suggs. That helps. When you have a guy like that can come in and be a leader and be a veteran, even towards the end of Terrell Suggs' career in Baltimore. He wasn't amazing as an edge rusher. He could still get the job done, but he wasn't amazing. But he was a leader. He taught the guys how to do everything. How he helped Matthew Judon, and, he helped, Zadarius Smith. He helped, pretty much every edge rusher the Ravens have had for like the last 15 years. But, he helped all those guys. Justin Houston's going to be similar to that Terrell Suggs later in his career role with Baltimore, where it's like he can get the job done, but at the same time, he's there to mentor. He's there to teach, and he's going to help the Ravens long after he's gone, because I don't expect him to be in Baltimore for 3 years. There's a chance that maybe he plays this year and the Ravens re-sign him, and he, if the Ravens were to like win the Super Bowl or something, he was like, I want to come back, do it one more time, maybe that he comes back. But if he balls out and, with Baltimore, the Ravens don't win, he'll probably go get a big contract somewhere else, I would expect. So like maybe we get 2 years out of him. I would expect 1 year. I don't expect him to re-sign, just because I think he would be able to get that more money. And unless we were to win the Super Bowl, which is very possible, but even if we did win, he may retire. There's a chance that he retires. So expect 1 year of a guy that can teach all the youngsters how to play, a year of a guy that can get to the quarterback, which is what the Ravens need, because yes, we can blitz. Yes, we've got great speed. Patrick Queen, Odafe Away, great speed. Tyus Bowser even has good speed, coming in the blitzes and all that stuff. But we need one guy that the defense has to look at. Once we have Justin Houston and Calais Campbell, that's two guys that are veterans that are very, very good and can have explosive plays. Calais Campbell had a 3-sack game last year against the Eagles. Like, he can still do it. However, he's just been the focus. Now, is Calais the focus, or is it, Justin Houston? Defenses have to look at that. And then all of a sudden you get Odafe Away and a mismatch on the outside against a slower offensive tackle, and then you're able to get a quick sack. So all those types of things play in. That's why this is such a great move. Sorry I wasn't able to get the video out sooner. I was on vacation. I put out the YouTube short, but I'm very excited to talk about it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this Justin Houston move, and let me know what your thoughts on training camp are so far. I'm probably going to put out a video tomorrow talking about, kind of training camp, like full recaps and stuff like that, unless there's any sort of other Ravens news. Maybe the Ravens, I don't know what the Ravens could do, but, let me know. Also, if you're into the NBA, the free agency has started. So if you're a fan of, whatever team, let me know if you're happy with the moves that they made, looking at who that you want your team to sign. I'm an OKC fan, so in the comments, I may talk about that with all of you. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I will see all of you again tomorrow.